Okay, so I want to start off by asking about David McGee. How tell me a little bit about how you guys first met David.
Oh, it's so crazy because I feel like we've known him so long. It
Right.
feels like we've always known him. But I think it wasn't long after we started playing in New Orleans, and we played the Frenchman Street and the Bourbon Street, shows, and it's mostly touristy. But whenever you start to branch out to like play the local shows, everyone talks about you have to go to D-Max because first of all, it was known for its blues jam. People would come from around the world just to go to D-Max on a Monday night.
Mhm.
But whenever we met him, he's like, "Well, you know what? Somebody told me about you girls. Whenever you want, come over and play a show." And we did a show like after our first show there. He was like, "Oh my goodness, really? Whenever you guys
Whenever you
want,
want, come play a show.
come play a show." And he was, I feel like just such a special person. I feel like he was one of those people that like was more than a friend. He's like pretty much family.
Yeah.
Even when we were just starting out, like struggling musicians, he used to say he put us on scholarship because
Yes.
DMAC had music and food, and he's like, anytime you want, come get a meal, and like he's just
It
always
was
looked out for the music.
Yeah, it was such a sweet. I think this I don't know, and I think that you'll get it, from being from Alabama and Mississippi, Texas. There's a realness I think that comes with like being from down south, and D-Max from Texas. And so I think that he met us and was like right away was like, "Oh my God, these are my people." Like we don't have that filter that like most people are like, we just if it comes up, we just say it. And so I think that that was like one of the reasons he really just kind of like bonded with us. And one day he was like, "Y'all come by this afternoon if y'all get a chance." And so we came by and we had food and we just sat down and we were like, what is it? But anyways, we ended up just talking, and we talked until it was time for the
For
next band to come
hours.
up. It was hours, and he really just felt like the mentor and big brother that like we really needed, I think. And we were first just really trying to get everything off the ground as original, like as original artists. And we were going for merch and all of that. So I always say he gave us our first loan for our merch t-shirt. and and so and we said we were like, "DMAC, we're gonna pay you back, we promise." And so we went out and we played shows all weekend, and we came back with a check for him the next morning. He was like, "Whoa." He was like, "Y'all," like, he just had that look like, "Y'all for real." And so, and I think that, I don't know, there were so many things that just kind of took our relationship, like, it was a bond, it was a special bond. And so,
Mhm.
we will be bringing these stories to Orange Beach this weekend, and we will be sharing those stories. And really, it'll be a celebration of life. And it's like, if you knew DMAC wasn't the oh, I'm the sad sit
Mhm.
around. He was like, give me some live music. Let's have some drink. Let's have some cocktails.
Some cocktails.
And let's have a good time. And so we're gonna have our Christmas listening party, where we're gonna be debuting a few unreleased songs from our album to get people excited about it. But also, we're gonna be celebrating the life of David D. Mac McGee.
That's awesome. That literally like gave me chills when y'all were like talking about
Oh,
him. Like that's so sweet. So, um, you were talking about how he became like family and you guys were really close and he kind of helped get you off the ground. What kind of effect did he have on your music, like technically wise?
I think one thing that DMAC always kind of stuck to, like always made sure he's like, always just stay true to y'all. He was like,
Mhm.
don't let Nashville or the music industry or anybody sway y'all from being who you are. And he was like, keep the sound that you like and keep the vibe that you like. And I think that's one thing that played a big role on our music. And it's people like DMAC that you really he's a music lover,
Mhm.
and it's people like that that you can trust what they're telling you. And
Yeah, and he was always going to give you an honest opinion. I remember even like we recorded some songs, and he's like, "No, you girls sound a whole lot better than this. Maybe they're trying to make you sound like this person or that person, but
Yeah,
this
this
ain't
ain't
y'all."
it. And he was, I love like exactly what Dev said though. DMAC was always like, just be you.
Mhm.
He was like, you are Chapel Hart. He was like, don't go and try to be Nashville. Don't go and try to be New Orleans. Don't go and try to be. He was like, just be who you are. He said, because what you're writing he was like, it's amazing. What you're writing is so special. And so he would always critique us. And if there was a song we had and he didn't like it, he'd surely tell you about it. And he said, but if there was one that he did like, ooh, he would tell you about it. So, you know, he was just so his passion just drove for everything that he did. He was a contractor, so whether it was contracting or running a business or running the bar or being behind the drums at the jail, he was just so passionate about it.
That's awesome. I've been reading about him and posts that, you know, DMAC, the company, has been putting on Facebook, and they were talking about how he loved music, he loved the drums, like, he was just a very lively person. But I want to talk about you guys for a minute. So, tell me about how you got started and a little bit about how did you guys end up on America's Got Talent? I mean, you are a girl group who's in country music from Mississippi. So tell me a little bit about what that experience was like.
Well, I'll kick it off with like the quick story of how we got started. And like I said, it was down in New Orleans, and we literally hit every level possible. We started busking on the streets, then moved indoors. And then whenever Dev joined, we were like, well, let's, you know, try to do it for real. And people always say you're never going to go too far just as a cover band. You have to make original music. And people were like, nobody does country in New Orleans. But we, you know, went out on a limb and we tried it, and we kind of just hit the ground running from there.
And then as far as AGT, there was a lady who reached out by the name of Lindsay Rush. She's like, you girls should definitely go and audition for America's Got Talent. And we were like, no, we're kind of torn and doing the things right now. And so we went back and forth on whether or not we should do it. And everything just kind of played together that it worked out for us to be able to just be like, you know what, let's go and do the audition. Because we were like, at the end of the day, we want to say we did everything and we don't want to miss out on any opportunities. So we went not really knowing what to expect. What we thought was going to be a 1-day filming, and or maybe not even a filming, 1-day audition thing. And we would go, it turned into like a 3-day process. We were tired. By the time it was time to perform, we were just like, they were like, y'all, we were at the end of all of the auditions. So like, y'all just go out there, perform. There's no golden buzzers. Try to get 3 yeses. And we were like, let's go. And so we went, and never in a million years could we have dreamed or imagined that the outcome of all of that would be what it was. And literally since that episode aired, we have been going nonstop. And we have just been definitely on the road and working and doing all the things.
That's so cool. I gotta admit to you guys, your Jolene song is amazing. I play it in my car all the time. Like, obsessed with it. I can't sing as good as you guys, but I definitely try. So what about your music? Like, it is original. You aren't a cover band. I mean, you're talented songwriters who are continuing to put out music. What is it like for you when you hear people or talk to people and they say, you know, we love your music, you're amazing, you know, you're talented, like, please continue to put more music out because we can't get enough. What is that like for you guys?
It's such a surreal feeling because when we think about, like, you know, when we sit down and write these songs about growing up in Poplarville or growing up in Steep Hollow, like growing up, like, and we were just like such adventurous kids. So it was like running in the bushes and running in the woods, running and going down to Bowling Creek. And it's just like we're writing these songs about these crazy experiences that we had growing up. And people were like, I feel that. That's me. And I was like, it's the most surreal feeling that, you know, the stories that you write about, the experiences that you have. And people hear it and they feel it and they say, man, that's me. Like, you got, like, keep writing. We want more of this. And it is the greatest honor as a songwriter that you will ever get, is for people to go, give me more, write down more of those. And so we are completely honored and grateful that our fans and people who are coming on to us. We still watch on TikTok. People say, I just ran into y'all's page and I'm a fan for life. Like, I'm not leaving. And we're like, oh my gosh, we don't even know how to run TikTok. That's our thing. We're like, what do we do? And so that just, you know, it makes you so happy, but also pushes you to work harder, and so you can write more and all the things.
Yeah, I totally get that. So, um, let's talk a little bit about Sunday. So Sunday, you guys will be performing in Orange Beach. Um, I think I'm not sure. I read it somewhere, but it kind of slipped my mind. Some of the proceeds are going towards David's medical bills. Um, what can people who attend, what can they expect to hear from you guys? And I know you said you were going to tell some, stories about your experience with David. Just tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, the show, like you said, we had initially set it up as a benefit concert because it was going to go towards his medical expenses, but now we're still going to donate a good bit of the proceeds to the family's final expenses just to take care of all of those things. But I feel like fans can expect I feel like you can expect what you would when you have Chapel Hart at DMAX. There's gonna be fun, there's gonna be family, there's gonna be food, there's gonna be great music, there's gonna be, something you can laugh about, something you can, like, what do you say? You probably laugh, cry,
We'll laugh, we'll
dance.
cry, we'll dance, we'll, all the things. And but it's just, I think it's an opportunity for all of those who love DMAC. And even if you didn't love DMAC and you feel like you're just connecting with him online and you're like, we're like, man, I would have really wanted to get to know this guy. I'm telling you, if you come out, you will get a chance to see the impact that he's had on I would say on our world and on the world. And you'll hear from how many people, how generous he was and how giving he was and how willing he was to just, say, listen, look, let me help you. Don't tell nobody I did this, but like, just, I'm gonna help you. And so you really see, how amazing of a guy that he was. But I think that that's the spirit of Sunday. And it's gonna be family and friends and people will be becoming new friends for the first time, all the things. It's just come out. And it's one of those things that you'll have to experience. And I just know it's gonna be amazing.
I like that. That kind of makes me think like maybe it's like the DMAC effect because I feel like he had like such an incredible ability to create spaces for communities to form. And then there are like friend groups. If you met them now, you wouldn't know that they weren't related. They travel around the country together, and it's like, oh no, this is the DMAX crew.
And they all met at DMAX.
That's awesome. I didn't actually meet him, but from everything I've seen and everything you guys are telling me, like I can just imagine he's just like this big bright light of energy. And like
Oh yeah.
I just imagine him as like one of those people where like it's kind of cheesy, but it's like whenever he walks in a room, it just lights up. And I think
There you go.
I
There you
think
go.
that's awesome. Is there anything else that maybe I missed that you want to talk about him? I'm gonna reach out to some family members to see if they want to say anything about Sunday.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so if you guys have anything else you want to add about him, feel free to.
I just want to, I don't know. I feel like
Right.
we've said a lot. And, and I think the people who know him will watch and go, yep, that's right. That's DMAC. And so, but we just want to tell people, get your tickets. We would love to have everybody in Orange Beach pile in, but the truth is we only have so much room. So
And I
get
feel
your
like New
tickets.
Orleans is going to take up a
New
good bit
Orleans
of
will
that
come
space.
and look, you will not have any tickets left. So y'all grab your tickets, come out, and let's listen at some of our songs from the Christmas album. Come listen for the listening party, but come with us as we celebrate the life of David D. McGee. We'll do it together.
That's awesome. I'm gonna stop recording